Hi, my name is Caleb, and I'm here to talk about the St. Lawrence Seaway that's located between Canada and the United States and the Great Lakes and the Atlantic Ocean. Well, what is it? It's a series of canals, locks, and channels create a connection between the Great Lakes and the Atlantic Ocean. It supports ocean-grade vessels in its canals and locks. It expanded trade in its region. Technology at the time: a system of 7 locks which lower or raise the level of water a total of 246 vertical feet so ships can travel the large distance of 370 miles, making it the longest canal system in the world at the time. Because the river was too shallow at some point, excavation teams dug to the depth of 8.2 meters so massive cargo ships could go through. To do this, dikes were built around the excavation area, and water pumped out to expose the bottom to make it easier to dig. To reroute the river and control the rapids, the Moses Saunders Power Dam and the Long Salt Dams were created, almost reaching a mile in length. Flooding had occurred from the dam, resulting in 525 homes, 6,500 people, 39.7 miles of railroad track, and 34.7 miles of highway being relocated. The technology used to create this project were all relatively known, but what makes this project so impressive was the sheer size of work done by the 20,000 men with constructing 2 new hydroelectric dams, 7 locks, excavating the bottom of the river to make it deeper at some points, and relocating homes, railroads, and highways. Let's get into the cost. In 1954, America and Canada came to an agreement upon the construction and split the cost of the seaway. At the time, Canada would pay $336.5 million, while the United States paid $133.8 million, amounting to the total cost of $470.3 million. In today's economy, accounting for inflation, the total cost would be just shy of $4.15 trillion. Beneficial and negative effects. Let's get into the positive effects first. It combines American and Canadian waters, allows shipping into the upper region of Canada, drastically increase trade and travel between America and Canada. It's also a large source of hydroelectric energy for both countries. Let's get into the negative effects now. It forced thousands of residents along the coastline to be relocated. Effects of the St. Lawrence Seaway: 44 tons of cargo move through the seaway annually, 15,400 hectares of land flooded, 9 separate communities relocated. Canada became an exporter instead of an importer of iron ore. Let's get into the role of the government now. First, let's start off with federal. The national government of Canada and the United States submitted St. Lawrence plans to a group for study. By the early 1920s, both the Witten-Bowden Report and the International Joint Commission recommended the project. The Prime Minister of Canada was reluctant to proceed because Quebec was not in favor of it. After reluctancy from Canada, a treaty of intent was finally signed in 1932. Next, let's start off with state. In 1936, a delegation of 8 representatives from the Great Lakes states met at the White House with the U.S. President FDR to obtain his support for the Seaway concept. Ultimately, state governments became in favor of the Seaway because it would improve the economy of the states in Great Lake regions. The dam was joint responsibility of Quebec and New York. The order of approval was issued in 1952, but the bill was not finalized until 1954, followed by a groundbreaking ceremony. There was no local major significance. These are all of our references, and these are the rest of my group members.